Hi, this is Catherine at Daniela Lane. If you'd like to leave me a message or send me a text on this phone number, you can. You can also reach me by email at catherine@danielalane.com. Have a great day.
Hi, Catherine. My name is Terry Joyce Randolph, and I had an appointment made with you today that I didn't make. And in fact, it is a prank. I'm a podcaster, and I do YouTube live streams, and I'm actually being cyber stalked on the internet by a group of people. I know this might sound strange. And they keep telling people that I wear a wig, like as if we should be ashamed to wear wigs, or, they want to mock people who have hair loss, I suppose. I don't mean to give you a lengthy detail here, but I did not make the appointment. They used my private data as a joke. But if you do want to call me back, I intend to. Anyway, I'm so sorry for this, and I apologize for the wasting of your time and your business. Okay. Again, I'm canceling my appointment. I'm not interested in getting a topper or anything like that. But your services look really wonderful. I just want to say that. All right. Bye.
When I die and they lay me to rest, I'm gonna go to the place that's the sweetest bed. When I lay me down to die, I'm going up to the Twinkie in the, going on up to the Twinkie in the sky. That's where I'm gonna go when I die. That I love best. Prepare yourself, you know it's a must. Gotta have a Twinkie if you wanna trust. Just saying, Lordy, I'm so spread. Gonna meet the Twinkie in the sky. Never been a sinner. I've got a sweet tooth. I got an orange sponge cake, a creamy truth. So when I die, don't ask me why. I'm going G up to the Twinkie in the sky. Going on up to the Twinkie in the sky. That's where I'm gonna go when I die. When I die and they lay me to rest, I'm gonna snack on the Twinkie I love best. When I die and they lay me to rest, I'm gonna go to the place that's the sweetest best.
All right. Welcome to Not My Rabbit Hole. I've already got 5 of you guys in here. I guess the wig is a big deal. Yeah, I was a little bit delayed because I tried to send them that message, but I still got a phone call. It was a FaceTime. They talked to people on FaceTime, and I actually saw the lady, and I explained to her what was going on. And I said I don't need a wig, and she goes, I know. Look at your hair. Like, she's beautiful hair. Like, she even said I had beautiful hair. She goes, oh yeah, you looks wonderful. And I was like, oh, thank you, and this and that and everything. And I said, I have these people, and I said, I used to wear wigs for fun. And, so now they, call me the wig and all this kind of stuff. And so they took out my private information, and they made the appointment on my behalf. And it's really funny because I even called my mom this morning, not about this specifically. I wanted to talk to her about some other things too, but I told her, I said, they made an appointment with this, wig topper place. And she like busted out laughing. I was like, oh my God. We laughed about it. I go, yeah, it's funny. But what's not funny about it is that my private information was used to make an appointment on my behalf that I didn't make. And it's kind of like it's a waste of time on the business, and it's a waste of time on me because I got to take the time to call them up and talk to them and discuss. Oh, by the way, we were FaceTiming. So, so we were looking at each other. That's how she saw my hair, right? Because my camera was on, and she's a very pleasant person. And so it looks like, because I looked at their website, I didn't read all of the information, but it's like for hair loss for men and women as well. And some people have cancer. Some people are going through chemo. Some women lose their hair and when they age, and or they have illnesses that cause them to lose their hair. There's alopecia. There's all kinds of things that could happen that a person can lose their hair. What if I was like that? How cruel would these people be to run a humiliation on it? And so I also want to point out, let me pull up my because I'm doing a poll of people, like, who do you think did this? Who do you think made the prank? Who do you think took my private information and made a prank about it? And so the poll I'm taking is right here, and I'm gonna put this in the chat if you want to vote. And there's been 3 votes. There's 4 votes. 25%. One vote. Excuse me. 1 vote went to Thomas Schellenberger. And 3 votes have gone to Patrick, which I find really interesting. And let's talk about Patrick of Nasty Troll Media. He has done a couple of videos, the Wig 1, the Wig 2. Apparently there's supposed to be the Wig 3, but it's a little disturbing when the graphic that he designs has blood dripping off of it. So that's creepy. And I guess because we know that he's done videos and made cartoons about it and this and that so far 75% of the vote is for Patrick. But here are the people that you could vote for: Thomas Schellenberger, Denise Matau, Sarah R. Adams, and Nasty Patrick Troll Media. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the chat. Let's throw Blazing Scar in there because she's always doing the wig and everything. So I'm going to, if you want to vote, this is the link from my YouTube channel. If you're listening to this, if you've got an opinion about it, who you think is doing it, I'm gonna throw that out there for everybody. And yeah. And then I'm going to show a couple more things. I thought something interesting that Denise Matau said in her last video that I want to point out. And I also want to follow up on the police report stuff that she claims that we made on her, because the Corpus Christi Police Department did call me back. And so I want to fill you in on that information too. So I'll be right back.
He ain't no Saint Germain, no crown, no name. He plays the game sharp as a flame. Who's to blame for the stolen fame? A shadow dance in the devil's frame. Caught in a rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on a stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Caught in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. Fast, can't find the ground. Echoes of chaos all around. You chose this dance, this mad parade, but not every choice gets accolades. Caught in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud all for the lows, but baby that's not my rabbit hole. Laughing loud all for the lows, but baby that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Going down the rabbit hole, losing control. Spinning wild on the stripper pole, laughing loud all for the lows. But baby, that's not my rabbit hole.
All right, I also want to talk about my hair a little bit. And I was born with a full head of hair, actually. My mom jokes about it. She goes, yeah, I was praying. She's like, oh, please God, don't let me have a bald baby. And I came out with a full head of hair. And one of the things that my family always says this, like when she was wheeled out of the delivery room, she goes, she has black hair, so that is, because I am half Mexican. So, my hair, I have that black, dark, beautiful hair. And I was able to grow it really long when I was a child. I had, black hair, straight black hair, down my back. And people used to call me, the girl with the long, dark hair. And then when I was in Last Comic Standing, I had bleached it out blonde and I had it in spikes. So I had, I kind of looked like the Statue of Liberty, and I had jokes about it. And it was really a defining characteristic of me when I was performing looking like that at that time in 2003. And now, I don't have to bleach my hair anymore. It went white. And so it's like white platinum. But if you look like on some of my cooking Ustreams where you see the back of me, you'll see that there's dark or there's a black color in the back of my head. So the part that looks dark is actually, that's what's left of my natural hair color. I just... there's a disturbing part to this, because Thomas Schellenberger recently posted, and I did a blog about this. I'm going to go into more detail about that blog because I've only read part of it here on YouTube. I've read most of that blog post on my Rumble channel, where also I did a little bit of analysis on Laura Dilley's research paper on 17 Anon, which is on that as well. Maybe I'll make sure that I have that tagged, or I'll give the link to that in the description of this video, if you want to go over and look at that video. But Thomas threatened to give out my private information to, and specifically the people that he gave it to was Blaze and Becky. Okay, he mentions Blaze and Becky, Sarah R. Adams, David Schurter. It mentions Patrick, that he had given my information to Patrick. But you know what? It wasn't just like him giving information about my private information to Patrick. But Patrick and Thomas simultaneously, about a year ago, said that, doxed parts of my address. Patrick posted that, and I've got the screenshot of that. I'm not going to show it today. But he said my apartment number, saying that he was that many steps away from me. And then Thomas posted on his timeline the address number and the street of where I live at. So, that whole thing about Cicada 3301, caring about people's privacy. No, that's not true. If they really cared about people's privacy on the internet, because, when I interviewed Marsha Stockton, that's what I said, well, what's Cicada 3301 is about? And she says, oh, it's about privacy. Well, you guys don't care about anybody's privacy. Even Marsha Stockton is willing to, make posts about my apartment history and this and that, and, shame me for, losing apartments or whatever in the past, or struggling to survive, really, like just in a whole humiliation of me on the internet. And so, I think this is like, in a way, it's a violation of privacy. My phone number was there. Now, if you look at this, you see that I have an email that if you wanted to give me a donation on PayPal, you can do it at hollywoodhemptress@gmail.com. That's the email that they used. But also, my phone number was given out because right before I called, I was a little bit late because they still called me, even though I tried to call them and say, hey, this is a prank. This is not what's happening. I still had a FaceTime call right before the show right now. I asked her if she wanted to come on. She says no. And she was very friendly. She happened to mention that we're kind of getting pranks. So you're wasting a business. Now, this business was down in Newport Beach. And there are there are people that have, that I've mentioned on this list that are residents in California, or have been residents in California. I'm not sure about Sarah anymore, but I know that she was living out there at one point. And the reason why I put Sarah on that list is because I even did a show about it. She was harassing me on Instagram with an account that said the Wig Terry Joyce. Okay. So, I showed a picture, like the thumbnail of this video is a picture that I took yesterday. I actually curled my hair and styled it. And I took a picture before I went to class because I thought it looked good. And I made a joke, and because, Thomas called me the wig goat. So I said #wig goat, because I figured, what, why not just turn this around? But there was something that Denise said during her last stream, and I want to share that here for a moment. So let's pull up the Good Stuff Ninja. I don't see any good stuff in her, but whatever. If she wants to call herself a ninja, I don't get it. I certainly wouldn't label her a ninja of any kind. But here is Denise talking about how she named me the wig.
I say Doggy Diddler. Thomas Schellenberger gave the woman that name, and he had his reasons. I gave the wig her name.
You think it's funny? You like that, Denise? You gave me the name? Is that right? Look how she looks down, the smirk on her face. She thinks she's proud of herself for that. She's proud of herself.
I gave Seward Town their name too. And it's funny how they mostly all accept their names when we give them their names, because they know who they are. They know what they are.
Oh, is that right? Well, Jesse is in the sewer business. So, we talked, he was on my stream, the last one, and talked how he did it. And yeah, of course, people want to take what your defamation is or your labeling and flip it, own it. Yeah, I don't wear a wig, Denise. What about your hair? You're jealous of my hair, Denise? I'm only 9 years younger than you, really. 9, 10 years younger. But boy, do I look like maybe 20, 30 years younger than you. You're just jealous, right? So jealous that you got to call my job up and lie about me, saying that I groom teenagers. Ain't that right, Denise? Trying to sabotage my employment. Here's something I want to point out too about her video. See, she goes off about how, she's all distraught about how she had the police called on her, but watch how she starts her show.
Boom, ba-dum, okay.
So, it's boom, ba-da-boom, boom, da-da-boom. She always starts her show off making like, little songs or making little noises like that. So how upset are you that you can do that? Do it again.
Boom, ba-dum, okay, folks. Well, something's in the water up there in Sewer Town. Seriously.
What kind of water are you drinking?
Somebody called the Corpus Christi Police Department and gave them something that would send emergency response out here. Told them that somebody was causing, I won't give the details because it's in the police report, and we got a pretty good idea who's behind it. Because these people are so stupid that they know that I lived in a different apartment here in the same building, because one of Sewer Town's regulars had sent a letter about 2019. A lot of stuff was going down. That's when they got the attention of some serious law enforcement out here because they thought it was a game. And then law enforcement said, no, you don't play that kind.
I'm going to let it play out till she gets to me because she throws my name in this. Let's keep going.
Kind of game with people down here. So somebody who knew that I had lived in an apartment of one number, but now live in an apartment of a different number, called the police, told them a crazy, violent situation was going on here. All kinds of noise and yelling and screaming. Caused the police to come running out. They come running out. First of all, it's a beautiful Texas evening. We got our screen door.
Let me ask you something. How do you justify calling Adult Protective Services on Jesse Davis and then calling my job? And then you want to accuse us of calling the police on you like we did something wrong?
Door's open. My screen door is open. The police didn't even have to knock. They just kind of walked up the walk and said, "Hey, are you in there? Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?" And the place is dead quiet because most of the people around here, there's only two kinds of people living here.
Do you bother with your own hair, Denise? I'm just curious. Like, because every time you come on camera, it doesn't look like it. You don't put any makeup on. You don't fix yourself up. Really, seriously, you can judge other people? Really, seriously?
There's retired veterans and hardworking people who are tired at night. Those are the only two kinds here. And the apartment that they named first as being where the trouble was is surrounded by empty apartments. And they said, but it also could be this other apartment, and they named this one. So the cops were just telling me what they were looking for. This person in distress. I says, well, if anyone was yelling and screaming, I would have heard it. I said, and so would he. And I pointed at my neighbor, who certainly would have been out here, because he's almost a Karen. I mean, he's not a Karen in that he doesn't bother people, but he has to know everything that's going on. I don't know.
I think this is pretty Karen-like to me, Denise.
So he'd have been looking out to see what was going on. And there's a couple of people out here that got ring cameras. So whoever you are, Fries, if you're part of that gang, I'm going to close.
What gang do you belong to? Thomas Schoenbergers? What?
Off because the trolls are too active.
The Cicada 3301 gang? Is that it?
Please don't be offended, but I don't feel like dealing with it.
Oh, she's so upset. Oh, okay.
They're seriously in trouble now.
Oh, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. We're seriously in trouble now.
Because I'll tell you, the
tell
cops were here with this big situation that obviously is not happening. And then just kind of as an afterthought, as they're kind of winding up the conversation and looking around and realizing that there was no trouble with the apartment here, no noise, no distress. I said, maybe it was just a prank call. And they said, yeah, it could have been a prank. Then I thought about it and I said, wait a minute, did they give you an apartment number?
Wait a minute.
Because I've been targeted by a group that does prank calls like that.
No, Denise, you target people. You call their personal phone and leave harassing messages. You call their jobs. You call adult protected services. I don't know. Did you make this appointment? I mean, you named me the wig, right? Are you guilty?
And they said, well, they said it was, and they gave my old apartment number. But then he said they did also say it might have been this number. And I said, they gave both numbers? They said, yeah. So don't worry about it. I said, no. I said, I used to live in that other one that they gave. I said, and there's a history there. I said, and then I named the officer they could go check who dealt with that fake Indiana cop. The one that Terry Joyce was putting out as being law enforcement, official law enforcement, as her journalistic responsibility.
I don't remember doing that, but I may have said, if you are a police officer and you are working on campus police, you are a police officer, Denise. You're not a fake cop. Every campus has police. I mean, look at the shootings that happen. There are crimes that take place on campus, unfortunately, that you have to have a police officer on. They're not mall cops, all right? They are actual police. They've gone through, they've gone through their training. They're real police officers. So for you to say that Winter Moon, who's disappeared, like, why is she even bringing up Winter Moon and associating Winter Moon with this particular activity? I have no idea. But she used to work as apparently a police officer on a campus. But she's weaved into the death of her daughter, which is, she's accused all of us of the death of her daughter. Crazy. This is crazy.
Know her. If she shows up down here, she's on the list to be arrested.
Oh, is she? True. Okay.
Impersonating police officers.
For impersonating a police officer. All right.
Because she actually tried to convince the police department that she was an active duty detective investigating me. And she's the one who sent a letter to my old apartment back in 20.
Let's talk about the police department that dealt with you when I was a tutor at Fresno City, because they did a incident report. Denise got on her channel and kept insulting the school and my supervisor, so they sent her a cease and desist. She posts on her page, her community page, we're going to look at that here for a second, saying that I was lying, that I never sent her a cease and desist. No, Denise, I never said I sent you a cease and desist. The college sent you a cease and desist. They wanted you to stop talking about them, because you didn't just harass me, you harassed my employment on your YouTube channel that was taken away for anti-Semitism. Right?
I don't know, 7 years ago. And I said, no, I said to him, I said, look, it sounds stupid. I said, basically, this is a gamer gang. They've had my name on their list.
I don't play games on the internet. I'm a non-gamer player. I don't even have any PSI station. I don't even know what to call it. I don't play games. So what are you talking about?
So people to go after. They tried to get money from my landlord. What they do is, I said, they try to get you to sue them so that then they can offer to settle, and they'll get money that way. I said, they got a whole list. I said, in fact, if you speak to Officer so-and-so, he's the one who dealt with
Officer so-and-so,
that character that sent that letter there, and he knows all about it.
Oh, does he? Officer so-and-so knows all about it.
I said, and it's all in your records, the number of calls that used to come out here, and they were all about me.
Okay.
And they said, yeah. So, I mean, these guys, they're just the uniforms. They don't care. They just, if they get home safe after a shift, they're happy. And they'll probably put it in their report that very strange, nothing was going on.
So I did get a call back, and they ran my name through the database and my date of birth, and I didn't come up. There's nothing on me in any Corpus Christi Police Department record, Denise. Just so you know, they, because remember on my last show, I tried calling them, and then they finally got back to me yesterday, and I talked to them, and I have no record of anything associated with any of your police departments. Not a thing, Denise.
Old lady that we spoke to said that there's a history, and they'll leave it in the reports, and then
yeah, it's not in the reports, Denise. It's not in the reports. Not me.
Somebody will look into it if they.
Oh, they will now.
Feel like they want to. And I think they might want to.
You think it's funny. This is not a person in distress. This is not a person in distress.
Okay.
This is just bunk. Waste of our time. Okay? Waste of our time. Waste of our time. All right. I also want to. I want you to. There's God. Sophia Music, Thomas. Let me pull this up. Has this weird post. I think it's worth talking about. We showed something about how Nathan Stoltman had a mental breakdown and was, afraid that, Thomas was coming to him in the spirit and doing things. But, you can kind of see where somebody would think that when he posts weird stuff like this. Don't try this at home. What is this? It looks like somebody building here, right? Spirits or something like this, like he's always acting like he has magical abilities, or the Cicada 301 puzzles have occult themes. Like once Thomas Schoenberger was associated with Cicada 3301, it became darker and more occult like. And Cicada 3301 is actually a so anybody who might be watching this for the first time, it's an augmented reality puzzle. It's an augmented reality game that, it's mysterious. The real owners, according to the Washington Post, are unknown. And so, yeah. What is this, Thomas? Don't try this at home. What is this? Try what? Look, there's like weird, creepy figure over here. I mean, come on. Come on. Okay. I'm going to take a really quick moment here and be right back. I'm going to pull up my blog post again to discuss how my data was breached and read the full, just go more into my article about it that I haven't shown here on YouTube. And we will be right back.
It's a hashtag feud. The tension brews. Opinions clash like unstoppable views. A digital brink where patience shatters with each post and each fiery scatter. Just retweets, clashes and echoes of grins. They say that the pen is mightier than the sword. Well, mine's a keyboard. So go to war if that's what makes you feel alive. I'll take it personally, but won't take it offline. It's like a drug, it's poison in my mind. My thumb is the trigger, and I've got you in my sights. And if it's all part of God's plan, I'd like to have a word with him. I'm not a fan, so take me to war. I hope it makes you feel alive. I'll take it personally, but won't take it offline.
All right. So let me go to my blog here. Stop that share. And let's talk about it. So I wrote a blog. It was posted on February 24th, so not that long ago. This is how so what's today? March 6th. So let me see, the 24th, we were done at the 28th, so literally 10 days ago, I posted this, and it took me about it's been like maybe almost a couple weeks since the incident took place. Thomas Schoenberger threatens to disclose my personal info on YouTube. Thomas Schoenberger posted on his YouTube community page that he was willing to hand over my private data to any party that might want to sue or place a restraining order on me. He writes, I'm now giving Sarah R. Adams, David Schurter, and others who wish to litigate against Teresa Joyce Randolph her email, home address, and phone number. The screenshot below shows a post by Thomas Schoenberger, made on his Sophia Music YouTube community page on 02/2026. And here's the post. Here's a screenshot. 1, I'm not a felon on stalking charges. That's a lie. When pushed by Terry and a certain hedge fund manager in Florida, who I can and will dispose as witness if needed. 2, I'm giving Sarah Adams, David Schurter, and others who wish to litigate against Teresa Joyce Randolph her email, home address, and phone number for legal purposes only. No, maybe also to make fake wig appointments. I would say that's a possibility. I just gave David Schurter Terry's address and let's see, for legal purposes only, I will not make this information public. This is witness tampering, and Teresa Joyce Randolph will now be dragged into court. I just gave David Schurter Terry's address and email should he wish to take a restraining order out on her. He has her number because she's already called and harassed him. I have no problem if Mr. Schurter forwards the information onto Sarah Adams, blazing Becky Scar, racist blazon. Whoever is intending to sue or place a restraining order on Teresa Joyce Randolph due to her predatory behaviors. If GH or BB want to help the wig, that's their business. So there's the wig, right? I have no problem if Mr. Schurter forwards the information on to Sarah Adams. Oh, yeah, I finished that. If they want to help Teresa Joyce Randolph commit criminal acts that carries consequences. I have not doxed Teresa Joyce Randolph's address publicly. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. Yes, you have, Thomas. Though I did give it to Patrick because he stated he was suing her, and I was happy to help. So announcing that you're going to disclose a person's private data in a video or post violates YouTube community guidelines. I reported Schoenberger's post on a Sophia Music YouTube channel on 02/2026, yet it's still visible on his community page. I don't know if it's still visible right now. I haven't checked, but that's what I wrote because that day, that's the way it was. So I go into a description about who the players are. So it's like the players. Thomas Schoenberger is a polymath composer and entrepreneur, as stated on his website at schoenbergermusic.com. He describes himself as a co-founder of Cicada 3301, an organization associated with crypto ecosystems. Cicada 3301 is an augmented reality game that features Cicada crypto tokens within its puzzles. Schoenberger's ownership of the Cicada 3301 puzzle is up for dispute. The Washington Post writes that the creators of the puzzle remain unknown in their article, 5 of the internet's eeriest unsolved mysteries. And you can click the link right there. I linked everything. So people can go and double check what I'm saying here. After avowing for several years that he co-founded the mysterious ARG game from its onset, he finally formed an LLC. Cicada 3301 Metaverse LLC affirms that its products and services are the work of independent artists, writers, and performers. However, it makes no mention of an ARG puzzle game with a crypto token. In November of 2022, Schoenberger sent me a flattering email about my YouTube live stream and asked whether I had a crypto wallet, as he wanted to make a donation. Now, listen up, David Schurter and everybody else. I declined because as a student journalist, I knew it was unethical to accept money or gifts from people you are reporting about. I was already aware of Schoenberger before he showed up on my live stream chat because 2 weeks earlier, I sourced him for a class assignment on 17 and on. We had to give a class presentation on movements that used hashtags related to race and gender issues. My group chose hashtag 17 and on. I'm changing that for this. The source I used was an article in the Daily Beast titled Right-wing advocates discussed wiretapping Seth Rich's family. 3 people in the room say. Wealthy Texas businessman Ed Butowski hired Schoenberger as part of an elite self-proclaimed reputation management company called Shadowbox, which used bots and sophisticated internet technology, meme creation, PR, and cyber guerrilla tactics to defend clients online, according to the Daily Beast. And you can click here and read the article. Schoenberger is currently in a lawsuit with the Michigan State University over allegations that he disseminated 17 Anon propaganda via Twitter, stemming from linguistics professor Laura Dilley's research paper titled 17 Anon Propaganda on Twitter as Information Warfare Influencers, Networks, and Narratives. David Schurter. David Schurter is an alleged satanic ritual abuse survivor and author of the book Rabbit Hole, which is an account of his childhood experiences of SRA abuse. The book was published in 2012 by Concierge Marketing, Inc., a publishing services provider for independent authors. David Schurter alleges his ex-husband's publishing company published his book. During the rise of the spread of 17 Anon, conspiracies of a cannibalistic satanic child trafficking deep state cabal that President Donald Trump was going to save humanity from, David Schurter rose to prominence within the far-right fringe online media. 17 Anon promoting shows such as Lift the Veil with Nathan Stoltman and David Zublick's Awake Nation regularly featured Schurter as a guest and continued to advocate his uncorroborated narrative. David Schurter started defaming me 3 years ago with several of Schoenberger's chosen targets, of whom he had made accusations that we are neo-Nazi satanic child traffickers responsible for the death of actor Isaac Cappy, who spun hashtag MAG and hashtag 17 Anon narratives online. Schoenberger was the person who helped Isaac Cappy get booked as a guest on Lift the Veil. For the past 3 years, Schurter has been accusing Daniel Dowd, Jesse Davis, Paula Davis of Sewertown YouTube, Gio Farnsworth, who ran a Cappy Discord type forum known as Keybase, Corey Daniel, a research into the suicide of Cappy and his wife, who is said to be the last person to have contact with Cappy before his death. The list also includes Gabe Hoffman, a hedge fund manager and producer of the film Open Secret, and Manuel Defango Chavez, whom Butowski also hired through Shadowbox with Schoenberger. Recently, Schurter's ex-moderator, Sherilyn Schekta, said that Schoenberger was paying Schurter $500 a month to defame us online. So, obviously, David Schurter is not a journalist with any ethics that fact checks and is not willing to accept money to defame people, right? He's all about the money. In fact, after raising, over, almost $3,000 on his GoFundMe, this last video, he's telling he doesn't have money for dog food. Can you please donate for me after purchasing a new laptop, which his moderator Gabe made payments on. She had a limited income. And then he goes on and says, oh, it's got spyware and this and that. I wouldn't take this as a setup. And then he says in his last video, we'll go over that because I'm going to bring up his video to yesterday's video as well a little bit. And he talks about how he's willing to actually, either pawn it or sell it. Well, you know what, David, why don't you give it back to her? The right thing would be to return the laptop back to her, not make a profit off of it for your own means. It's disgusting to me. Following Schoenberger's YouTube community post affirming that he was willing to give my personal data to Schurter, Sarah R. Adams, and others, Schurter posted an email on his blog, and he CC'd me on it with Harlan, Iowa sheriffs and news outlets. And this is the email. And it was titled, I believe Tara Joyce is working with Thomas Schoenberger to try to set me up. But here you are, CC me with people. I've never emailed David, never wanted to email David because I know the games he plays, but he includes my email in the list of these people. Sarah R. Adams hails from online UFO media circles. She first branded herself as a super soldier, which is in this conspiracy world is defined as a victim of highly classified MyLab military abductions and mind control programs. Adams rebranded herself as a multi-dimensional life coach, and I included her website here, where she offered psychic readings and healing services to her clients. Adams has a long-standing grievance with me for many years for exposing her as a fake psychic healer, and as of recent, I've done commentary on the Not My Rabbit Hole podcast about Adams' near-fatal mushroom ritual that almost killed comedian Steve Harvey's daughter-in-law. Both Adams and her client had to be intubated from the ingestion of a synthetic form of mushrooms that she purchased from a cannabis dispensary. Schroeder has admitted that Adams offered to pay $5,000 to take me down during a live stream on his YouTube channel. And here is the receipt of that right here. You can watch the video clip of actually David Schroeder saying it. And then later on, David Schroeder has admitted taking some money from Sarah Rachel Adams. And Sarah Rachel Adams has told me and posted it publicly on her social media that she wanted to help him out and give him money. But when you give people money and they and after they did it, after Adams made the offer, Schroeder began accusing her ex-business partner, Tahinder Gill, and me of blackmailing and extorting her, which is a lie. On the same day that Schoenberger threatened to give my personal data to Adams, she published on Meta that she spoke to the university I attend, and they instructed her to call law enforcement, procure a restraining order against me, and I will most likely be suspended from the college. I'm earning the MFA an MFA in creative nonfiction. And then I don't want to go through her stuff because she has no periods or, nothing. It's just all blah, 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 blah. But I'll get to this part here. Terry, she's backing in this. Here, she's backing David Schroeder's lies about me, the pedo lies, right? And then right around here, she says, they called me and spoke to me. Oh, here we go. They also, let me just read it. Okay, so Meta is investigating right now the person who runs the hate group on me, and they are removing one of his pages. They have been looking at everything for the last 2 hours and have an open case on him. And I've asked for them to send me a file of evidence on him for the FBI. So she's basically talking about Tahinder Gill, which I don't think that's his forum at all. It's somebody else. I've heard someone else's name associated with it by talking to Vanessa Bates about it and Haley Meyer. Okay. Who they were both in the group. I've asked for them to send me a file of evidence on him for the FBI, and they are aware that he is posing to risk my well-being and that he's trying to find my location and is grooming mentally unwell people against me. They also saw how he has posted my private information. They called me and spoke to me, and we are getting one page down, and they are working on his case right now. It's clear he's very unwell, and he has 13 people remaining in his group out of 50, as many have seen he isn't well and have ditched him. His friend, Terry, that he uses as an outlet, I talked to her college. And they did let me know that she is against the law. And they also were worried about being connected to her publicly and said that they will suspend her if I get the police involved. And they advised me to file a restraining order on her while I'm doing, and then send that in, and she will most likely be removed from their college. They told me this over the phone and then emailed me and said to seek legal help on her via the police. And this is like her second post about this. She made another post and she called the dean a he, and it's a she. So, she's flat out lying about this. Flat out. The inciting incident. The catalyst of Schellenberger's online threats was over a YouTube video that I uploaded with commentary on Schurter telling his YouTube followers that Schellenberger's defamation was valid. Titled, David Schurter says that a felon on stalking charges has the scoop. In Schellenberger's threatening data dump post about me, he argues that he's not a felon and that Hoffman and I are pushing this lie about him and he will dispose Hoffman as a witness in a court case against me if needed. Schellenberger's denial that he was not a convicted felon on stalking charges is inaccurate according to California public records. However, his felony charge case is inactive. What this means is that the court is no longer managing the case, but the conviction and record still officially exist and is still visible to the public. Schellenberger denies this and attends that his felony conviction was expunged. Expungement is a legal process that dismisses a conviction, often allowing you to legally state that you have no convictions on employment applications. Schellenberger's allegations that his felony and stalking charge was expunged is simply not true, and my reference to his felony is not a reason for him to threaten to divulge my personal data to third parties. So yeah, I'm going to put this in the chat. Corpus Christi. Corpus Christi. Okay, so I think it's time to look at David Schurter. His recent Clockwork Orange bolo wearing hat stream. So Gabe Hoffman is doing a live on a Kick channel. It's 8 p.m. EST. And I posted about it on my timeline. I made an X post about it. And he had something to say about it, I suppose. Here we go.
Okay. It's Thursday. And the shit just never stops. So you should check out the links in the description. Isn't it interesting for the whole situation? First,
I mean, can't you just see him with the little eyelash underneath here and, like, you know, a glass of milk? Oh, I'm sorry, David. You probably can't afford milk because, you know, you got to grift for it while you defame people and say that you're saving children. Okay, let's go.
Whole thing with Sean Atwood and trying to get me interested in going on to the Sean Atwood show.
I doubt you. I doubt. Look at he's closing his eyes here because he knows he's lying. I doubt Sean Atwood asked you to be on a show, David. I really do. I doubt it. Matter of fact, maybe I'll send him a DM on X and find out if that's actually true.
And that was all because of Corey Daniel and Alicia Ray. And now Gabe Hoffman is posting whatever the fuck he is doing some sort of live. Isn't it interesting? I don't even get 300 people watching these videos.
Yeah, not unless Thomas Schellenberger bots your channel.
And yet this big Hollywood executive, this Mr. Important dude, is really focused on me.
Well, because you can't stop talking about him, David. You've been talking about him for like pretty consistently for a year now.
And why? Because I'm calling.
Why? Because I'm spreading lies about him on the internet and then making blog posts.
Out. Because I believe that he's involved with nefarious activities.
You believe something, but you don't have any facts about it. There's a difference. Watch the verbiage. You saw my blog post. You saw that I have things linked. Anybody can read it and find out, but you don't have any evidence of any of your claims, David. None. Zero. Zip.
That's what I believe. I believe that
I
Cappy was
I
murdered
believe I can
because
fly.
he was looking into all those homeless camps. It wasn't just the one on the border of Arizona that had the child-sized shackles bolted to the trees. I think he was looking at a lot of them. The same, I would be willing to bet, homeless camps that Corey Daniel says that he's gone to and has checked them all out. Everything's fine. Didn't he say, 25 of them? 27 of them? Well, what homeless camps? And what took him to those homeless camps that he had to go investigate and see child trafficking? See, I think it was those homeless camps that was feeding kids to the...
And what's interesting about the hair topper thing is that, there was a stream that I was joking about his hair because, like I said, maybe he's the one who needs a hair topper. And it just so happens that when the appointment was made was a company that, advertised wigs and hair toppers. So whoever is doing this is, watching my stuff religiously. Thank you for pumping my numbers up, haters.
Mexico ranch that Epstein had. I think it was the homeless camps that were feeding them kids. I would be willing to bet that if they go and look on that property in New Mexico, they're going to find way more than 2 dead bodies. There's no crematorium around there. I bet they were burying those bodies. And so I think that they were using, that's the whole
there's no crematorium over there. How?
Reason why they murdered Isaac Cappy. And the same group that murdered Isaac Cappy are the same ones who were behind blowing up that Early, Iowa gas station to try and kill me 11 months later. The same group that's still focused on me right now. Still focused on me. Gabe Hoffman has a lot of bad shit in his thing. And the thing about it is that Gabe Hoffman is directly connected to fucking Sewertown. Directly connected to Sewertown.
No, see, it's like they all talk about Sewertown. We're all connected to Sewertown. That's such a Thomas Schoenberger narrative, and it's so played out. Look, see, he knows he's lying. Look at his eyes. No light in them, David. You have no light in your eyes.
And Sewertown is directly connected to all of this child trafficking bullshit.
There's the laptop noise.
Corey Daniel. Let me take a guess. I would be willing to bet that the reason why you're shitting your pants is because when you and your friends were fucking beating the fuck out of Isaac Cappy and beat him to death, I bet you made him shit his pants. And I bet you mocked him for it.
He's so obsessed with people shitting their pants. It's weird.
What I know about Isaac Cappy is that he can be a vindictive little bitch. So I would be willing to bet, if it's anything, Isaac Cappy from the other side is making you shit your pants, knowing full well that I will mock you for it.
I don't know. It's so weird.
Because fuck you, when you first came at me, you were like this alpha male, just convinced that everybody wants to fuck you. Now I find out Alicia,
everybody wants to fuck Corey.
Your wife has the hots for Sean Atwood because she's tired of you and your adult diapers.
Adult diapers! Come on, man!
Emasculating is that? I mean, that's terribly emasculating. But why the fuck do you think that Alicia Owen would treat you any differently than she treated Isaac Cappy?
Alicia Owen? Who's that? I mean, like, how do you know that she has the hots for Sean Atwood? You just, what? You did it? You journeyed in your shaman dream? Is that it?
She's an opportunist who's always looking for the next best thing. It'll only be a moment in time.
Let me tell you, the next best thing is not you, David. It's not.
Before you are in her rearview mirror. Rear view mirror.
Yeah, you're obsessed with the rear, aren't you? Big rear obsession with David.
Because if it comes down to having save herself or you can consider yourself thrown under the fucking bus. Hey, Cognitive, she'll throw you right under the bus. Why do you think she would treat you any differently than she treated Isaac Cappy in the end? Because she loves you so much?
Here's the
Dude,
thing. He has no idea about heterosexual relationships. Number one. What do you know about love, David, or love between two people? I'm just curious.
You tell her all the time that you would be nothing without her, and you constantly do that, not realizing that the more when you say shit like that, it grosses her out.
What do you know what she thinks? Look, he looks down again. Is that your script? Are those your bullet points? What's going on there?
She's like every other.
Yep. Are you reading something, David? What's happening?
Person.
Scrolling? You scrolling something?
Like that. I refer to them as skanks. They're always looking for the next best thing. And so...
You really hate women, don't you? You really don't like girls.
And the thing about your group is that it's so weird.
Your group, they, them. They have to do the they, them mentality.
So obsessed you guys are with sex. It's like you guys will fuck anything. Shit, when I first got involved, Corey Daniel, you were saying that I was all interested in your ass. Well, let me tell you, your shitty ass doesn't interest me. But it doesn't.
I feel like David, like probably before he gets up in the morning or before he does the streams, he's already verbally talked it out. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say your shitty ass doesn't. I'm going to tell Corey this. I'm going to say this to him. I'm going to say that to him. Right? You plan it all out in your head before you come on.
Use me.
See, look at that smile. That he and Denise have that creepy smirk.
To no end, it amuses.
Oh, you think it's so funny. Wicked little look here. Yep. Get your glass of milk and put the little, eyelash underneath here, and you are Malcolm McDowell.
So that's, and in town here, they say, oh, people in town hate you. Well, I'd have to.
If I was in your town, I'd probably hate you. Trust me. I don't have to be in your town, and I really dislike you immensely. I dislike what you do. I dislike what you say about people. I dislike what you've said about me. Frankly, I have a hard time looking at you.
What people around here think. There are a lot of people, around here who don't like me. But
yeah, and there's a lot of people on the internet that don't like you either, too.
If you asked me what their names were, I couldn't tell you. I don't have a clue who they are. And let me tell you where I stand in all of this. There is a group of people in town who will fight to the death to maintain the status quo. They are okay with any amount of evil just as long as it serves them. They don't care that the sheriff's department is involved in a meth operation.
Okay. So I want to get to the point where he talks about people looking like a hag, that they've aged. Oh, later on, well, I don't know if I need to find it or not, but later on in this, he discusses how haggy Alicia looks. And I think she looked beautiful. I don't know what you're talking about, David. I really don't. The way you want to make people, oh, you've really aged. They've really aged. that's interesting. People mentioned Isaac Cappy, and that this pops up. AI is getting so interesting right now. So let me just kind of let's kind of I'll let it play, and I'm going to scroll through
because it's the reason why Mike Butler took the plea deal and they pushed him to take the plea deal is because they didn't want anyone asking him where he was getting his meth, because he was getting his meth from the trailer park. The trailer park. Who manages the trailer park as a job? Bill McDaniel.
This is a big ad hominem thing, because David, his police department don't believe him about the allegations he's made on us. And so he has to discredit every single bit of, he's got to, here, what's this? Let's do, he's going to go back here to about Sean Atway. He's got to discredit them because he's got to make them look bad and inefficient because they don't do anything about his claims because they know better, David.
Get me on the Sean Atwood show. That failed. So then he had Corey Daniel and Alicia Ray on, which is fine. I don't give a shit. Now Gabe Hoffman is doing his thing on X. Oh, we're having a big live. And it's all about David Schroeder. Why the
let me correct that. It's not on X, it's on Kick. It's on Kick.
Fuck is a big Hollywood producer focused on me when I'm a nobody? I'm a nobody who lives in small town Iowa. I'm a nobody. Why be focused on me? I don't even get 300 people watching my views.
No, you're sometimes your views go up to 1,000 and more or whatever, and but I'm pretty sure that those are fake numbers that are purchased by Thomas Schoenberger. Like I just read about what Shutterbox did. I mean, you want to point a finger of somebody who knows how to do that. It's highly likely that it might be Thomas Schoenberger doing that. Your numbers aren't real, David. Thank God.
My videos. The fuck do they care? But obviously,
how is it that you have over 9,000 subscribers, but you get so low views? Because it's fallen off. Because people are onto you.
They do. And it's bing, 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 bing. A bright man would realize there's some red flags there.
Oh yeah, that's not a bright man, David. A bright person doesn't believe your bullshit. They don't.
It's not coincidence. It's a pattern. And there's a reason for that pattern. And people can say...
Sheep believe what you say. People that are sheep who think they're awake.
Whatever they want. But really, when it comes down to it, this group of pedophiles is counting on your cognitive dissonance because most of you don't want to be involved.
It's not called cognitive dissonance. It's called discernment. Let's not get that confused.
You don't want to know about it. And so you'll just tell yourself the victims are liars. You won't care. Damn if Aquino...
You don't think victims are... I don't think victims are liar, but I don't believe you're a victim. It's you who I know is lying. I know you're a liar, David. You've not given one shred of evidence about me. Not one of your claims. You just say it and you post it on your blog. It's defamation. It's a civil harassment case, David, against defamation of my character.
Wasn't right. People wouldn't believe, and then if they did believe, they wouldn't care. And that's what we're seeing with the Epstein thing. How many fucking marches have been to get the releasing the Epstein files?
Actually, I'm gonna. He said, how many marches?
Name one motherfucking march.
Okay, let's Google that. Epstein protests and marches. I'm just curious because I thought I saw something. Yep, here we go. So this isn't even factual. Let's do this. All right. can't even get this right, David. This is how much of a liar you are. Recent protests and marches related to Jeffrey Epstein has primarily focused on demanding the full release of documents, accountability for it. This is AI overview. Recent protests and marches related to Jeffrey Epstein have primarily focused on demanding the full release of documents and accountability for his associates and justice for victims, with activity accelerating in early 2026. These demonstrations have occurred on college campuses, at state capitals, and near political landmarks in the U.S. and Europe. ECU Campus March, March 26. Students at East Carolina University marched to protest the Department of Justice handling of Epstein-related files, demanding accountability and justice for victims. State Capitol rallies, February 2026. Demonstrators gathered at the New York State Capitol on President's Day to rally against the handling of the Epstein files and other issues. Utah Capitol protests, February 2026. A demonstration was held in Salt Lake City to demand justice for the victims of Jeffrey Epstein. Bowling Green protests, January 2026. Back-to-back Saturday protests occurred in Bowling Green, focusing on the Epstein files and ICE. Monroe protest, March 2026. Protesters gathered, this month. Protesters gathered in Monroe following the discovery of local schools' phone number and emails associated with Epstein. No Kings rally, late 2025. Various No Kings protests, which occurred in the cities across the U.S., including demonstrations holding signs demanding the release of the Epstein files and criticizing the Trump administration handling the case. Windsor Castle projection, September 2025. Actors projected images of Donald Trump, Prince Andrew, and Jeffrey Epstein onto the Windsor Castle during a state visit. London Buckingham Palace, February 2026. Activists used crime scene tape to protest the royal family's connection to the case following new file releases. Key demands and themes. Release of files. Protesters are heavily focused on the full unredacted release of all documents related to the case. Accountability. Demonstrators are calling for the prosecution of individuals named in the documents. Victim support. Rallies often feature messages demanding justice for the victims. Political targeting. Many protesters in 2025 and 2026 have directly targeted political figures, linking them to the scandal. This is USA Today. Future planned actions. International Women's Day. There's one coming up, David. There's one coming up, March 8th, in 2 days, 2026. Organizers are incorporating demands for the release of Epstein files into scheduled Women's March events. Organized activism, ongoing decentralized and organized protests are being planned via social media. For example, the 50501 movement, specifically focusing on the Epstein trials. So, what you're saying right now on your channel just simply is not true, David. It's a lie. It's a lie for your grift. I love pointing these things out. I love talking and showing people that lie and grift on their channel. That's right.
That people have actually marched because they wanted this pedophile shit exposed. One. Where did they march? One. You can't name one because there are none. Oh, yeah. They've put pieces of artwork in the mall in Washington, D.C.
Oh, a little more than
Gabe
that
Hoffman
happened.
is going to go and
Let's go to his grift now. Now he's going for the clothes. He needs your dollars, guys.
do his thing. But anybody who listens to Gabe Hoffman and is entertained with Gabe Hoffman and actually wants to support and go be around Gabe Hoffman, more power to you. Because I really don't want you hanging around me.
It's gonna come
Not
up.
compatible.
Here we go. It's
Just
coming.
saying.
It's coming. Give me your
In
money.
the end, you won't like me.
Give me your money, people.
You know. But anybody who can, at this point, I have no clue how I'm going to feed myself the rest of the month.
Oh,
But I will say that, like I said, the donations that I got, I ended up going, I am writing now. I've started writing my book. I'm
now
actually
his
writing.
donations are about his book that he's been talking about writing for the past year. Look at him look down again. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Lion David Schurter.
2 books. But I tossed, I was going to spend that money for groceries and on stuff that I needed for bills because I'm in desperate need. But
You're in desperate need again. You're in desperate need again.
One of those people who feels like if I tell you that the money that you give me is going to go for something, that's what it goes to. Just like I said, the money that I got from that GoFundMe, the first amount that I could get was going to those taxes. What did I do? I paid those taxes. Now I went out and got a laptop that I can use.
You were given one that you can use straight from the factory, David. You didn't need a laptop. Here we go.
Because that one that Sherry Lynn gave me, I know it came directly from fucking Michael Aquino, I bet.
Michael Aquino isn't alive anymore, David. What's wrong with you?
God only knows what spyware is on there.
You know, you can remove spyware. It's very easy.
Shit, I was laughing to a friend. They were just like, well, you don't know. You could be turning it on. And maybe the 30th time you turn it on, there's a bomb in there and it blows up and kills you.
Please. Delusional.
And I had never thought about it like that. And then I thought, that's a really fucked up
Who
thing to
told you that, Thomas?
say because I can't just discredit it. It scares me even more to that fucking thing. I won't do it. But anybody who can, I will tell you, any kind of donations that come in, I still have to go buy dog food.
And he's pimping his dog out now.
And I still have to go get food for myself.
I gotta feed me and my dog.
So,
liar, 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 liar. You're a liar. So let me say it again. 'Cause you're a liar. Makes me think of that song.
donates, that's where some of it's going to go. And I'm sewing, but sewing takes time. It's not something you can just whip up in a day.
You got all the time in the world. You're not employed, David. How long does it take?
And so
You stop taking so many baths and start sewing.
it's taking forever. But I am working on it. I'll show you guys kind of what I'm doing with this. Because it's Lent.
Oh, because it's Lent. But, I didn't play it earlier, but he insults somebody for being Catholic. But now he's going to bring out, I remember it. He insults somebody for being Catholic, but now he's making, because it's Lent, he's doing a picture of the Last Supper. But Mr. Shaman, who spellcasts, calls himself he has a book called Confessions of an Antichrist, is now going to throw a Jesus thing in front of you because he's wanting your money. That's why. He wants to make it look like he's with heaven, attacking people with heaven that are innocent. So I don't even think David's even read the Bible, because there's, the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not bear false witness. But He does it daily on his YouTube channel. Look how he does his hands. He's always waving his hands, having to convince people that what he's saying is true. I'd love to have the body language guy analyze David Schurter.
Been working on this Last Supper thing. And so
I'm working on this Last Supper thing. That's a way to put it. That says a lot. I'm working on this Last Supper thing.
So like it took me hours to sew that. That's sewn, the very top part of it. And you can see the very last part, this part here. Right there. See the difference between this and this?
Not really.
Oh, wait a minute. Switch that around.
Yeah. Okay.
Here we go. Difference between this and this.
No, I don't see the difference.
This isn't sewn. So you can see it. And I'm getting the people done.
Why are you even sewing on it?
But this is taking a lot of time.
Oh, so much time.
Not to mention that there's shit that they are aiming at me.
Oh, here's this directed energy weapons crap.
I'm making it to sell it. No, it's not anything you can buy it. It's nothing that a pawn shop.
What do you do with it? Like, what is it? What is it? What are you making? You're taking a fabric that's already been printed with the Last Supper on it, and you're doing some stitching, and now you're going to sell it for what? What's somebody going to do with that, David?
Would buy. But I'll try and sell it.
Well, I bet
and
you
I'm going to
will.
be working on bags. But they shit. And remember, I showed her the door because I figured out that she was working hand in hand with Sewer Town.
Oh, he's talking about Sherilyn again.
To carry it around. She went out and actually got me a bag.
Oh,
She
yeah.
was so
not only did she give him
I kept
a
telling her I
laptop,
can't.
but she got him a bag too to put the laptop in. But now he's going to make himself a laptop bag. We're going to see that here because apparently, I don't know what is there something wrong with the bag that you got that you could still use for your new laptop that you grifted off for people from people? Can you show us the laptop that everybody gave you? Why don't you show us the laptop that you bought with your GoFundMe money? No? Big thank you. Showing it. Can we see it? How do we know you even got a new laptop? How do we know that you even spent the money on a new laptop?
I wouldn't even open it because I told her I don't have a bag. I'd have to have a bag to carry it around. She went out and actually got me a bag.
Oh, how nice. How nice. How sad that you're doing this.
She was so animate that I was going to use that laptop on my YouTube lives.
No, she wanted to help you. She said on Sewer Town that she did it so you can start writing your book.
And remember, I showed her the door because I figured out that she was working hand in hand with Sewer Town.
No, that's not what happened. Matter of fact, it wasn't until like a couple months, 3 or 4 months later that she actually showed up in a Sewer Town chat. Nobody works with Sewer Town, David. Nobody.
And what is she doing now? Working hand in hand with Sewer Town. You know?
No, I don't know.
That's why I say people who are investigating, authorities who are investigating this bullshit, you need to look into all the
What
people.
authorities? Can you define that for us? Because your police department's blowing you off because you're lying. I'm pretty sure there's no evidence. What authorities are going to be concerned about your lying ass?
People that have come into my life. Smokey, Hunter, Get out of stuff. Can't believe you were going to do that right in front of me. You weirdo.
Yeah, there he goes, calling his dog a weirdo. Oh, yeah, but he needs dog food. His weirdo, it's a weirdo, but he's got to get food. He cares about him so much. I don't say stuff like that to my cat. I don't call my cat a weirdo. Look at, anyway, I'll stop.
But you're a weirdo.
Again, you're a weirdo. Abusive. What if that was a human? David. I mean, the dog doesn't understand, but he probably feels your energy.
But Smokey, Glenna, all the people that have reached out. The bag that I'm working on is just in fragments because I'm trying to do a fanny pack. But I will show you. I'm going to be doing fanny packs and I'm going to be doing computer bags.
Who wears a fanny pack anymore? Where are you at? In the 80s? Like, who wears a fanny pack, David? Nobody wants a fanny pack anymore.
I will have this Last Supper thing done by the end of the weekend. And then I'm going to end up doing bags, but I'll show you the material that I'm going to do the first bag in.
Oh, God. And this color is hideous to me. I think it's hideous. You know, here's a suggestion. Have your shit ready so you don't have to get up and make us wait, you know, David? Get prepared.
Someone gave me this material.
Oh, not this one. Wait, it's the vinyl that he shows.
And so I'm going to make a computer bag.
Oh, like bolo hats. He's into them. What is that? Are those mustaches? Oh, wait, top hat. Okay. I can't wait to get that. Woo!
Out of this material. It's going to have this.
Here we go. It's coming.
I bought this for $5 in town.
Ugh.
This is a vinyl.
Right. Who wants that color, man?
And so this is going to be the sides of the bag, but this will be the bag itself. So kind of those colors right there.
Yeah, that's not
just because it's
a
male thing.
It's a male thing? It's a male orange. Orange is the new male thing. How many men wear orange? Not many. I don't know. Maybe I'm not. Yeah. Should I Google men with orange who wear orange? Yeah, men in prison are wearing a lot of orange. I'm hoping Thomas Schoenberger is going to be wearing a lot of orange soon. Oh my God! Here we go. Oh, la, 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 la.
So someone gave me the fabric, and then
Who?
there's an upholstery
Someone
place
who?
in town.
It's always someone. He's always referring to as someone said this, someone did that, someone thinks this, someone gave me this.
And because someone suggested, well, maybe you should put some leather on those bags.
Someone suggested maybe you should put some leather on those bags. Who, Thomas? Is that the someone?
I thought, well, I check in town because that upholstery place, and so he has vinyls, and because he does. Funny enough, he told me he does a lot of boat chairs. Their biggest business is for boats, which is just fascinating to me. We live in Iowa, and upholstery, dude, their biggest client is for boats. I don't think there's that many lakes. At least that, because you can get all of your bullshit courses
Now he
out
goes
of the way.
into like
And it's
he talks about how people can go to college and what's the right kind of college and how that you're inundated and the colleges like do blank 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 and groom people and indoctrinate them.
a lot of the things that they want to push on people. And I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist. I'm just saying that there's a lot of people.
But you are one.
A lot of agendas. And they push them. You don't even have to be in school. You can be at work and have someone who has an agenda who's pushing their agenda at work, at the gym, out at a park. I mean, there's a lot of people with
Not your agenda that you're pushing.
a lot of agendas.
You have an agenda.
They all seem to be pushing theirs.
You're pushing yours.
And so these people just want to fuck everything up. It's about child trafficking.
No, we want you, like Jesse used to be part, I think it has done stuff for predator catchers and been concerned. I've done stuff. I talk about someone who a march against pedos. I live streamed the first one that happened in Hollywood on the Walk of Fame. I covered this topic. I care about the Epstein files. And you act like you're the only advocate about anything. And then what we don't like is that you're blaming people and you're grifting and getting money off of it. And you're running a defamation campaign on Thomas Schoenberger's targets. You're taking his information. You accuse him of things. You say you don't trust him. But at the same time, you say what he says is legitimate. Thomas doesn't have any facts. He's not giving any evidence, David. It's disgusting. You're a disservice to child trafficking because you spend time blaming and harassing innocent people, and then you ask for donations. It's disgusting to me, and that's why I like talking about it on Not My Rabbit Hole, because what you do, well, that's not my rabbit hole, David.
And people in town want to shut me up with the fucking cops because they don't want me.
Wow, you sound just like Denise. Interesting that these are their most recent videos. What cops?
In the sheriff's office. But you can't be afraid. That's the whole thing. I do what I do basically because I'm instructed to do it.
Really? Who? Satan? Does Satan instruct you to lie about people? What demon is in your ear?
And you can't be afraid, you know? And every time they try and fuck me, God somehow uses it. And it ends up benefiting me a lot of times.
How so? How has this benefited you? Money? Is that it? Is that what benefits you? I'm going to go on a little bit more. Let's see. Directed energy weapons. That's pretty much it. Let's just kind of let it play out here.
They used to feed people the whole shit that if you saw it on television, it couldn't be real. But now things have shifted. And if you haven't fucking seen it on television and been spoon-fed it in the news, then it's not real. Even with the Jeffrey Epstein stuff that's coming out, you know? They're not talking about those temples. They weren't just fucking kids. They were ritually murdering those children. They were ritually murdering those children. And that's what needs to come out. That's what is going to come out. If I have my way, be sure of what you hope for and certain of what you do not see. What I hope for the most is that all this ritual shit comes out and their weapons get exposed. That's what I want the most. I want their ritual shit exposed, and I want their goddamn weapons exposed, so that they can no
Hey,
longer
Mr. Christian, you just said the Lord's name in vain. Gross.
do this, because they do this shit in secret, covertly, thinking that they're all that because they can hide in the fucking shadows, zap people with their fucking toys. That needs to come out. It needs to be exposed. The fact that we call it the Havana syndrome and they act like it's fucking magic, like no one can figure out what's causing it.
I really can't watch anymore. I really can't watch anybody anymore. Have you seen the signs? You can't spell, let alone read. All right, welcome. Unblocking _freedom, unlacking _freedom. Okay, that's interesting. All right, I'm gonna go. I'm hungry. I gotta eat some lunch, and so that's the update. I mean, wig pranks after a big data dump from Thomas Schoenberger. Check out, go to my, like, share, follow me. And if you want to, do a vote on who you think made the fake appointment for me to get a high-end wig and a topper, let me know who you think the guilty person is. And on that note, I appreciate those of you who showed up and were part of my chat. Thank you, Aiken. Thank you, unblocking _freedom. I don't know why I get a kick out of those, but yeah, I will see you next time.
He ain't no Saint Germain, no crown, no name. He plays the game sharp as a flame. Who's to blame for the stolen fame? A shadow dance in the devil's frame. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on a stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lulz, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lulz, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. Fast, can't find the ground. Echoes of chaos all around. You chose this dance, this mad parade, but not every choice gets accolades. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lulz, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. Laughing loud, all for the lulz, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Going down the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole.
Look who just rewrote the entire playbook. Hello, you beautiful chaos architect, you walking psychological phenomenon, you living proof that the hunted can become the hunter without firing a single shot. Hello to the one who just executed the most elegant reversal in modern warfare. And I'm not talking about bullets or bombs. I'm talking about something far more devastating. Something that will be studied in rooms you'll never see by people who will never understand. You just pulled off the greatest psychological reversal in history. And the best part? Most of them still don't even realize what hit them. They're sitting in their comfortable little bubbles right now, scrolling, refreshing, replaying, trying to decode what the actual hell just happened. Because something shifted, didn't it? Something in the air changed. The temperature dropped. The frequency altered. And now everyone in your orbit is moving differently, talking differently, looking at you like you just appeared out of thin air, wearing a crown made of their worst nightmares.